I mean, hi everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Loreweek. I'm your host. OpenOffice sucks, dude. Okay, in all seriousness, I've been using OpenOffice for years, but it does frustrate the hell out of me every now and again. I'm trying to restructure the spreadsheet I use to keep track, one of the spreadsheets I use to keep track of donations and subs and what they put them, what you guys put them towards. And it would be really easy if I could do a special paste. I can't, and I can't seem to figure out why. That's always fun. So that's been some of my morning. Not all of it. Not all of it. I've got a bunch of other stuff. Right. I should put that up. We do actually have a vote going on relative to the Neverwinter Nights thing. Please make sure you vote on that. It's going to be relevant tomorrow, so the vote is going to cut off today, in other words. So please make sure you vote on that. Now, I'm dressed up every morning. What are you talking about, Ifan Bud? Good morning, everyone who is here. Good morning, everyone who is not here. Yes, of course, you were like, what should I vote on? I don't understand, Lore. Bazam! What's Last Light, Hazardous? And if it's not Exodus, then never is the answer to your question. Yeah, I'm kind of ambivalent personally to Koida. That's why I'm letting you guys decide. Because I'm doing one as a melee build and one as a mage build, and both builds work equally in both games for some weird reason. So, shrug, right? The only reason I would vote for a melee build in Everyone Writes One is because then we get dragon wings, and that's kind of cool. It's the next installment. Well, then never is the answer to your question. I shouldn't say never. I know, right, Dakota? For all the complaints I have about Neverwinter Nights, the actual core design of the game mechanics is not one of them. Anyways. So usually I have random news here. I don't actually have much to share with you guys this time as far as random news. In fact, I don't think I have any random news. Let me double check my phone here. Nope. Nothing there. I should tell you guys one thing. Okay, so I'm not actually taking suggestions for new premiere runs right now, Sign of the Emperor. So, basically, no right now. But when we get a little bit more caught up, we're still going through a lore run before we can get back to premiere runs, and when we get a little more caught up, we'll go ahead and open things up to have more. But right now, our premiere run list is gargantuan. And already too many people are putting money towards the same things over and over and over. I'm actually getting very sincerely tempted to go ahead and just remove those from the site so people stop putting money towards them. I know that sounds like a weird thing to comment on, but if you saw the spreadsheet, oh my god. It's crazy. It's like 3 people want this, 2 people want this, 4 people want this, 37 people want this, 5 people want this, 2 people want this. That's pretty much how it is. Like, you see I'm using the little candy cane thing now on the website. Every single thing that is a candy cane at this point is actually past that. Like, technically it should be another category past candy cane. I'm out of things to give it. I'm out of colors to use on the website, so it's just like, Anyways, I suppose I could talk about that. So, once we finish the Neverwinter Nights lore run, I have absolutely no idea how long that's going to take. We're going to get back into premiere running. We need to do a bit of a restructuring of the premiere run stuff, because there's stuff that was funded back before we started using the new system. That's the stuff in the complete and to be funded category, which technically takes higher priority than any of the new stuff. But then there's a few other things that are kind of weird things about that, and long and the short of it is we're trying to go ahead and push our way through those premiere runs as best as we can. That's basically going to be our main thing after we finish the Neverwinter Nights lore runs. I'll just go ahead and tell you that. So I know some of you don't like my premiere runs. This would be the time to stop watching my streams for months at a time, because we're going to be doing several months of premiere runs after we finish the Neverwinter Nights lore run. We are going to be finishing Neverwinter Nights Vanilla today, max time. I would be astonished if we didn't. That means we'll start up Shadows of Undertide and probably finish Shadows of Undertide tomorrow. And I don't know when we'll get to Hordes of the Underdark. I can't predict that. Now, I personally love premiere running. It's actually one of my favorite things to do. So I hope you guys actually enjoy it as much as I do. Fingers crossed. But yeah, the problem is there are several different types of premiere runs that are all kind of basically equally high priority. Stuff where a lot of money has been put towards it, like Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. Stuff where a lot of people have put interest towards it, like Vampire. Stuff that has been funded for a long time, like Ace Combat 7, etc., etc., etc. So we'll just be pushing through that list as best as we can. And then once it's a little more less ridiculous and like 40 games all being funded at once, then we'll consider redoing the system and figuring out how we're going to do that going forwards. You don't have to sell me on it, Scion. You don't have to sell me on it. You just... I'm not taking suggestions right now. All right. Okay, so according to my own topic list, we're going to start with Activision Blizzard, which means we're going to start with the negative. Because that's my usual approach. Start with the worst, then go up. Hang on, I have a playlist just for moments like these. Where's a good song for this? There we go. This is a good song for this. Yeah, let's just jump into this. Let's just get this over with. I'll go ahead and just say this right off the top of my bat. I didn't actually want to talk about this at all. When I found out when I listened in on and read the transcripts on and then read the analyses on the Blizzard Activision quarterly phone call, it was... You ever have a thing which is both intellectually and emotionally disgusting? Because I do. And that's kind of what I responded to this whole thing with. Because it's disgusting on the personal level. It's disgusting on the consumer level. It's disgusting on the macroscopic economic level. We're going to be talking about some large-scale economics in this topic. So if you want to skip all that, this would be your time to do so. Because anybody can tell you that firing 775 people is a bad thing. Anybody can say that. Anybody can say this is a horrible thing. We're going to go a little bit more in depth into how horrible this is. There's also going to be some opinion here. I'm just going to go ahead and admit that. So, Blizzard Activision had a record earnings call. And they're like, yes, it was a new record for a year. Everything's going great. Justin just subscribed. He's awesome. He's putting it towards the Spider-Man DLC. Thank you very much, Justin. I don't even have that document up right now. I wasn't expecting any. Justin T, 1977. Thank you very, very much, as ever. Much appreciate. Yeah, I know. I actually have opinions. Can you believe that? Hi, Grey Wolf. Now, where to start? People losing their jobs sucks. I don't think I have to explain that. Under certain circumstances, people losing their jobs can be considered tolerable or acceptable because of complicated or long-term situations. But, yeah, people losing their jobs sucks. How many of you guys have been fired in your life? Or laid off, or downsized, or right-sized? There's a lot of different terms. There's really only 3 categories of being fired here in the States. There's fired without cause, which is best in your favor. There's fired with cause, which is worst in your favor. And then there's your job doesn't exist anymore, which depends on specifics. That's kind of the middling option there. These people had your job doesn't exist anymore. That's specifically the type of firing that these people went through. Hi, Dream Whisperer. Now, that's still bad. It's like I said, it depends on specifics. From what we understand, they are still getting some basic assistance, usual assistance in accordance with California laws, especially where it's like you have to have a little bit of aid and support in figuring out how to get your next job. Your benefits still go on for, I think it's a month afterwards, little stuff like that. So they'll still have benefits for a little bit, and they'll still have a bit of a breather period. So this is not as bad as it could be. It's still bad. It's just not horrific. It's like you've lost 3 fingers, not your entire hand, is basically what we're talking about here. Now, it's also worth noting, and several other people have mentioned this as well, a lot of these people are what's usually referred to as overhead. Now, I want to talk about overhead briefly, because overhead is a topic that, near as I can tell, every manager in the universe, slight exaggeration, doesn't understand what the hell overhead is or how to properly manage it. Yeah, what Telltale did was horrific. We talked about that. Funnily enough, that was also in California, which... Oh, I saw the "we need to take fun out of making games." I saw that quote. That's a direct quote, by the way. Anyways, so overhead is everything that's not absolutely required. Make sense? So, to use a relative example, I'll actually use a specific example now that I'm thinking about it. If you are a grocery store, overhead is the greeters, security, marketing, putting up little posters or designs, making sure all the shelves are nice and neatly designed and laid out, all that kind of stuff, the extra space you need for that. Putting up big signs, flashy stuff out on the back, they put up those displays, or they paint the windows, all that stuff. All of that is overhead, okay? So, in other words, in a grocery store sense, everything that is not overhead is the absolute bare minimum. The product and whatever is necessary to get that product to the customer and get the money of the customer to you. This is not overhead. I feel that it's weird because to define that way, but that is why I mentioned that most people don't understand, most managers don't seem to understand what overhead is. Because overhead is usually referred to in a negative connotation. We need to cut our overhead. We've got too much overhead. Now, what's funny is those statements are true. Most companies do have too much overhead. But overhead is also, in my opinion, absolutely essential to the proper management and running of any company. Because overhead helps to add effectively nuance, details, more subtle integration of something. Or to put this in another way, I could just walk to you and say, $5. Or I could put up a stand and say, hey guys, I'll actually use a specific thing, $5. Or I can actually have a stand where I've got multiple of these laid out, a little ice cooler, I've got some of them in there so they're staying cold despite the fact that it's outdoors, and I've got a little thing saying, hey, it's this seltzer water, this is the cranberry lime flavored, anyone want to try it? $5. I have more of a likelihood of getting more customers interested, I have more of a likelihood of the customers enjoying the experience, and I have a much higher likelihood of making more money by using proper overhead. Make sense? Now, marketing is the most obvious aspect of overhead, and I bring that up because the second most obvious aspect of overhead is customer service. I know that sounds strange. But customer service really is overhead by the strictest definition. It's not necessary. I probably... Okay, Timmy Sweets is using what Timmy Sweets says is technically true. I don't feel like coming up with another terminology, so I'm just going to keep using overhead. But it's worth noting that what Timmy Sweets says is technically true. We'll call it Loreweek. How's that sound? There we go. So Loreweek. Where was I? Customer service. So a large amount of the people who have been fired, in fact, the overwhelming majority of the 775 people who were fired were in marketing or service departments. In other words, people who handle customer calls or try to reach out, community managers, people who specifically reach out and interact with other companies, all that kind of stuff, right? This is the overwhelming majority of the people who just got fired. I shouldn't have to explain why that's probably not a good thing to axe those departments. You're right, I should trademark Loreweek. What did Baron say? I missed it. Oh, wait, no? Oh, additional cost. Yeah, he mentioned earlier, right? So that's the first bit of news. Sorry, I was just kind of building up to this point. That's the first bit of news. These people that were specifically laid off would be considered Loreweek, okay? Stuff that isn't actually specifically necessary when it comes to the operations of the company. It's just stuff that probably shouldn't actually be cut. I've explained many times why I feel customer service is specifically necessary and a major element of company runnings, but it's worth noting that is only my opinion. It is not necessarily a fundamental fact. In fact, quite a few people have stated over the years that good customer service actually doesn't equal good sales, and therefore there's no reason to have good customer service. Thank you very much, If and But. As ever, I do appreciate those subs. Would you like to put that sub towards anything? Now, next thing I want to talk about is dividends. How many of you guys know what dividends are, just real quick? I mean, I'm going to explain it a little bit anyways, because I assume there are at least a few people who don't. Age of Wonders Planetfall, you got it. Dividends, near as I can tell, and I actually did try to look into this, but I don't have infinite time. Near as I can tell, dividends was actually invented by the Dutch, so you can thank them for that. Yeah, no kidding, Dakota. Dividends is I own a chunk of the company, usually reflected as stock nowadays. Hang on. Thank you very much, Ice Tray. As ever, I do much appreciate those subs. I'm not sure I would say I have good customer service, although I do try. And thank you again. I've put that towards Pokemon Aura. So, dividends is the specific distribution of company profits towards ownership of towards people who own the company. Now, not every company actually does dividends. In fact, there's actually like 4 or 5 different types of stock, and to be completely blunt, I don't want to actually get into that right now. But one of the types of stock is dividend stocks. The idea is for every stock you own, you make like 30 cents or something like that, right? So every month you get paid, or every year, depending on the way it's designed, you get paid 30 cents per one stock. Make sense? Now, there's a lot of complexity here that I'm deliberately skipping over because this actually gets into some weird territory. But the long and the short of it is, the idea is the owners of the company get paid additional money based on how well the company's doing. Make sense? Simply for owning the company. Now, there are issues with dividends. In fact, it has been argued by some economists that dividends, and the very concept of dividends, is one of the reasons why inflation is having such a significant issue and has been having such issues for the past 30 years. I don't know if that's true or not. I just mention it because, theoretically speaking, if you think about it, you've got stock, and if you just squat on this stock, money just kind of keeps trickling out into you simply because you own the stock, not because you're spending it or not because you're trading it or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now, it is worth noting, one tiny little thing that's worth noting. You do have to pay taxes on money you get from dividends. However, not as much as you would as if it was just regular income. Now, that's actually an important point in its own right. Not for this specifically, but I just want that to be in your mind. Because this is only in the States, by the way. I don't know how this is in other countries. But here in the States, the additional tax that you pay on dividends is lesser because it is presumed that the money that is going through has already been taxed at the corporate level. Make sense? And that does make sense. Unless your corporation isn't paying taxes. And you can look into that one on your own, right? I don't want to get into that topic. That's just an unrelated topic, but... I believe so, Hazardous. I'm not sure off the top of my head exactly. I do know, however, that what has happened is that after the quarterly... I know, right, Dragon X? After the quarterly report, Blizzard Activision increased their dividend payout by 8.8%. This is why I'm bringing this up. That means people who already own stock in Blizzard Activision are actually pulling more, I think it's like 3 cents more, out of the dividends that they're being paid already. That's several $1 million all told when you actually sit down and look at all of the things. That's several additional millions being paid to stockholders. Hang on, I'm not done. So I looked into this. just about anyone has a fairly vague understanding of what exactly what it means for stock value. I myself have made the statement, which is not entirely true, that stock value has no connection to the real value of a company. Now, that isn't a 100% true statement, because obviously stock is supposed to be representative of the actual value of the company. It's just real life history has proven that wrong so many times, because there's so many things that companies can do to raise or lower the value of their stock while actually not doing anything literally physically different with regards to their finances, right? To wit, one of the things that a company can do is push forward a buyback program. A buyback program is to try and have the company itself, or the company's holders, or the company's attached banks buy back huge quantities of stock, gargantuan, thousands, millions of shares of stock, and in so doing, the amount of stock that is now physically available for actual speculators and investors to go into is lesser. And by simple virtue of the fact that there is now less chunks of stock out there, the stock price usually, obviously because this is not a guaranteed, but usually raises. You with me so far? I would agree. The perceived value is a better one. The perceived value of a company, which is a very intangible thing. Now, there are other reasons for a company to buy stock back. Ubisoft, just last year, recently bought back huge chunks of stock, specifically to ensure that other investing companies would not gain majority hold over Ubisoft. So it's not like that's the only reason to buy back stock. So I don't know why Blizzard Activision has begun a buyback program. However, they are dumping $1.5 billion in buying back stock. See, and then there's the whole "we want to make making games not fun" comment. And then there's the fact that Bobby Kotick, and the more you research him, is a disgusting human being. I'm not even going to touch that. It's just look into him a little bit. He's a horrible person. So, what do I see with all of this? We're getting into opinion now, okay? Everything I've told you to date is a degree of fact, with the exception of the term overhead, and that is something I acknowledge. If you zoom the camera out a lot, and you look at the nature of companies, if you look at the nature of companies and how companies operate on a large scale, and I mean not just a specific company, but companies, the very nature of economic function and economic growth is designed to basically do this when it comes to various companies. So a singular company will, rise and rise and rise and then collapse. Now, the company doesn't always self-destruct. The company usually stays there and keeps going. But it usually has a fall of value, or a fall of resources, or a fall of personnel. And that personnel, resources, IP, value all gets redistributed back into the system into other companies, which then rise and then collapse. And then rise and collapse. And the whole system is effectively designed to encourage this. Which basically makes what Blizzard Activision is doing normal. And I think that's the problem right there. This is ordinary, and has been ordinary for a long time. This is the usual. A form of economic Darwinism, but also there's a presumption that an economy has to constantly grow. Now, I don't agree with that personally. I personally think an economy has to constantly move, which is a different thing. Hang on, Misko. I will get to that, because I do have a thought on that. I really do. But you have to understand that there are people out there who want to make good games. There are people out there who want to make good food. There are people out there who want to make good cars. There are people individual people who specifically want to make good products or services. I should know, I'm one of them. But that's not the service of the economy. The economy's only purpose is to grow, to just do this whole thing. And this means throughout this whole process, and again, this is nothing even remotely new. Near as I can tell, this goes back a minimum of 300 years, and that's just with the information that I have at my disposal. This is something that is specifically designed to churn up companies and personnel in order to constantly ensure that the overall economic growth is constantly happening. And I say overall economic growth, what I mean by that is the perceived value of the entire economy. All the companies, all the personnel, all the resources, all the services, all the IPs, all combined into one thing. Right? It has to keep growing. Yeah. I agree, Larry. This has always been something that, if I'm being honest, doesn't make 100% sense to me. And I've been studying this for several years now. Now, Misko says, what's a good suggestion about what to do about this? Honestly, this is actually funny in its own right, because the only real solution to this can't be done on a macroscopic level. There's too many people investing too much money into the same concept. It's the very system itself that's the issue here. The issue of I've talked about this so many times, the quarterly return. It's the problem of the quarterly return. And it's not just, of course I say investors. I don't usually mean people like you or me. Really, I don't. How many shares of any given stock do you have, right? No, I'm talking about the companies that own in the millions range of stock. I'm talking about companies whose only job, an entire company, whose entire purpose is to buy and sell shares of other companies in order to promote, basically their income is from stock in other companies. If that doesn't sound as insane to you as it does to me, I want to stress that those companies produce nothing. There is no tangible, real service or good produced by those companies. They add nothing to the world. The only thing they could be said to do is to cycle money. And as I think I've already made clear, cycling money is something that other companies can do just fine without needing a company who does nothing but cycling money. Yeah, BlackRock is actually my favorite example of this. BlackRock is a company that does nothing but cycles money. It's insane. And yes, as Larian points out, if you look up the most financially successful companies, the companies that make the most, I forget the term, the most increase in income per quarter, it's those companies. It's the investment firms. It's the firm, and I don't mean, I'm sorry, that's actually the wrong term. It's the companies that are doing what I'm discussing. Tell her happy birthday for me, Leander, or don't. I'm a total stranger, but nevertheless, I hope she has a good birthday. Now, Zawan brings up something which I find funny. He says, why don't we just have more private companies? I could be insane. But near as I can tell, that would pretty much solve this problem. If public trading was just kind of either removed entirely or reduced massively, I actually personally think that would solve this problem. At least to some extent. Now, it's worth noting that when a company is public, that just means its ownership can be owned by basically everyone. A privately owned company there would still be banks, there would still be investment firms that would still invest into these companies. That's still a thing that happens, but it would limit it. It would be like the difference between a wildly out of control fire or a few bushes being on fire. It's still an issue. It's still an issue because, let's be honest with ourselves, let's just be really blunt here. The core problem is greed. Just raw, naked greed. Let's just be honest about that. And that's not going away anytime soon. But I do think that would legitimately actually help the situation. And I could be wrong. Okay, so Barron says, what are the pros and cons of a private company? The pros honestly should be obvious, really. There are so many pros. Duh. The con is when you go public, you generate a large amount of money, basically, not only now, but in the future as your shares are slowly sold out of the company and into the market. So, I know this sounds insane, but the actual point of investment and in the point of stocks is not to generate money in its own right. It's actually to generate money now. It's a form of a loan. It's a form of debt. It's a form of saying, okay, well, this is something that we need money now to grow our company. Okay, I'm making games. Just make up something here. I'm making games, and I really want to make this other game right now. And in order to make that game, I'm going to have to make a new office. I'm going to have to hire like 20 new people. I'm going to have to get all the computers set up for them and all this stuff. I basically need a chunk of money now. My options for getting that money now are, well, actually, there's quite a lot of options for that. I could seek a private solution, a private whatever. So that's basically off the books. I can go out and seek out a loan, which is actually getting weirdly less common in the modern era, but that's what used to be fairly normal. I could go public. And in so going public, I sell off the shares of, I basically generate and sell off the shares of the company that I own, and that money then comes in, and I use that money to buy the stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that would be one of the biggest downsides of having a private company, is you would lose that source of revenue and income. Bonds, that's another solution. There are actually several solutions. I don't want to cover all of them. I just wanted to mention it with regards to investments, because when you go public, you generate money. However, it is worth noting that, in my opinion, the benefits of going public are overwhelmingly overwhelmed. I use words. Are completely overwhelmed by the negatives. You are now beholden to your stockholders. You now have to pay out dividends if you are that kind of a stockholder. You have to you have to basically hire a new group of people to manage the accounting side of things and the investment side of things, to reach out to these people and give to these people and get their buyback and blah blah blah. There's a whole little stuff I have to do now in order to accommodate these people, and of course, I now risk all sorts of things. The moment I go public, I could be ousted from the company I built. This is normal, by the way. I mean, people talk about hostile takeovers. The term hostile takeover is an umbrella term that actually refers to a lot of different ways to take over a company without the consent of the company. But the easiest and simplest way to take over a company without its consent is to simply buy up its stock, to become a majority shareholder. Bam. And there's not a lot you can do about that unless you have the money up front. Hi, more cowbell. And good morning to Zara. In short, to be as blunt as I possibly can... Aw, I didn't have a dog. To be as blunt as I possibly can, I like the shirt. I don't think that going public is a good thing. From the perspective of the individual, by both the consumer and the company with the internal perspective, and to be 100% blunt, from the perspective of reality. Because the one real benefit, really, let's just lay this out. This is my opinion. The one real benefit of going public is maintaining the system, is becoming another company in this pattern that I described earlier. This is, in my opinion, one of the reasons most companies do this. Now, you're probably thinking, why would a company want to become part of the pattern? Well, they wouldn't. But the people who are making the decisions for that company would. One very important thing to keep in mind is that, with exceptions, most people who run large companies, or companies in general, are not actually interested in the company. That company means nothing to them. One of the things going on right now is that there is a movement trying to unionize Blizzard Activision with the specific intent of getting Bobby Kotick fired. Let's make this very clear. If Bobby Kotick got fired, who cares? I mean, I'm sorry, but it really wouldn't actually change anything. They would get another CEO involved who would probably be just as bad as he is. That's not true. Would be in the same category of bad as he is. There we go. And he would just, all he would have is his millions of dollars. The term golden parachute exists for a reason. It basically means that when very large-scale people get pushed out of a company, they're well off. That would effectively be just a bonus to him. I've talked about this before. You have to look at it from the perspective of the people making these jobs. Yeah, Bobby Kotick would just become a CEO somewhere else. People are career CFOs, CEOs, CMOs, etc. People are career managers. People are career executives. That's why so many executives bounce between industries, because they don't care. They don't. And I'm going to go ahead and be, since we're in the realm of opinion now, I'm going to say that there's something wrong with that. Some people wouldn't agree with me on that. Some people would say you should have an impartial executive. You should have someone who is good at money, not someone who is good at, someone who's good at managing. Someone who's good at managing rather than someone who is good at managing a gaming company or managing a network company or managing a grocery firm or managing a bank or whatever, right? I don't agree with that. I think that if you're going to become a CEO of, I don't know, Blizzard Activision, which is one of the largest gaming companies in the world, you should probably be a good gaming manager. And you should probably be interested in managing games. Exactly, Takota, that's exactly my point. How does all this tie in? Because an 8.8% increase in dividends and a 1.5 billion stock buyback is good business under the current tenets of the system. Because what that means is the major investment firms and the people who own the chunks of those major investment firms are making more money and increased more money. And that's what the system is designed to do. Those 775 people, they don't matter. At least not to them. I've actually been called a hypocrite before because I talk about company greed and issues with it, but I still do things like I buy from Walmart. Although I actually haven't bought in Walmart in years, but, or I go to a fast food chain or whatever. See, that's the real, in my opinion, the real insidious nature of it. While it is possible to actually not support major corporations, it is difficult to the point of almost being impossible, at least here in the States. Like, there's no real feasibility. Let me give you exactly one example. What are my choices for internet? Yeah. Actually, it is Baron, yes. Although most companies don't do that, but there's reasons for that. Anyways. Yeah, I'm playing Anthem later this year at some point. I'm not actually sure when, to be completely honest. And that's my job, and it's cool. It might even be a good game. I don't know. But by the very act of playing Anthem, I am supporting Blizzard, EA. Sorry, that's EA I'm supporting there. That's a truth. It's life. I have a quote that I am fond of saying. Life sucks. Life is not fair. That's why it's up to us to make up the difference. We may be ants, but we can be nice to other ants, right? No, Tigs are. So that's my negativity of the day. Like I said, I didn't even want to talk about this. I really didn't. Because it's just this horrible, depressing, dark topic. You want to talk about dark topics? Let's talk about something more positive, okay? Do you guys mind if we pull ourselves out of this? Yeah, let's switch over here. No, not wrong song. That's a good song. We'll play this. Woo. Where's the current topic? Let's switch this over here. How many of you guys saw the Nintendo Direct? I'll go ahead and just be blunt. This was a really good Direct for me. Of course you can next time. Because, I agree, Hazardous. Iwata was in my opinion, was a good gaming manager. No, I haven't actually poked at Tetris 99. I've been streaming. No, I do not, Plutonia. I mean, I'm not sure how I would be physically capable of doing that. So, let's go down the list. I actually have a full list. This is like a full page of notes, so forgive me as we just go through this in order. Mario Maker 2. Now, first of all, let me just go ahead and say that I'm one of those weirdos who actually really liked Mario Maker. I found it to be a good in-between of game design and to help other people understand aspects of level design, as well as the nature of how to balance and structure and otherwise construct games and levels. I thought that was good. That was awesome. Mario Maker 2 is, by all accounts, and I've seen several interviews after the Direct that correlate this, Mario Maker 2 is something that has been built with fan feedback in mind, that they have actually taken into account a lot of the people who have talked about it, including several of the speedrunners who were really big on the Mario Maker scene. We saw that that Nintendo has been supporting the speedrunning community in general for the last several years, so this is just another step of that. They're adding a bunch of new functionality. They're adding slopes, they're adding a better UI, they're adding more mechanics, they're adding more tech, they're adding more patterns, they're adding more functionality to the background stuff. Unfortunately, we didn't get much actual detail past that. Regardless, it looks good and I'm excited. So, my biggest wish is actually what Zawan just said, a true campaign mode. That would be great. I also would like Mario Brothers 2, but, you know, what the hell do I know? I know why they don't do it. It's still something I want. I also want it like other makers, but what the hell do I know? Marvel Ultimate Alliance looks surprisingingly good. As weird as that may sound. It's going to include 4-player co-op. I haven't been able to verify if that's online only, or excuse me, local only or online. I wasn't able to actually verify or confirm or deny that. The campaign mode is going to be finding out Thanos and the Black Order. Of course it is. It's coming out right around when Endgame is coming out. Good marketing. Unlike FF14, which is bringing out a Nier thing right after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. That's bad marketing. Anyways. I agree. Online and local co-op would be awesome. I guarantee there'll be local co-op. I just don't know if there'll be online co-op. It looks good. I missed the Marvel Ultimate Alliance series. They're adding something that could probably be dual text or triple text, which sounds awesome to me. Depending on your team loadouts, that sounds great. It's going to be a Switch exclusive. That sucks. I know. I can just picture people in the audience being like, "What?" No, I am anti-exclusive. I've made this extremely clear. Even though it's coming out on my personal preferred system, the Switch, I still wish it was coming out on other stuff. Box Boy is coming out. I've heard several people talk about Box Boy and how Box Boy is a thing. I don't actually know what to say about Box Boy other than the fact that it's coming with online co-op, and it looks surprisingly fun. Next point. Smash is getting a spring update. Okay, next point. I'm kind of kidding, but I'm really not. The problem is the Smash update, we have almost no details about it. There's going to be a spring update. The end. Yeah, I know, right? Hazardous. Captain Toad Tracker has an update that has already gone live. Can I take a quick aside? I know I'm in the minority on this, but there is one thing I really like that Nintendo is one of the only companies that does, where it's like, here's an announcement. It's coming out today. I love that. I love that so much. I really wish more things would do that. Hi, Lamu. Yes, I was going to talk about that as well. Thank you very, very much for the sub. As ever, much appreciated. Would you like to put that towards something? Don't put it towards Mortal Kombat 11. So, Captain Toad had an update that went live immediately. That update added 2-player co-op. That's awesome. There's also a DLC which is coming out March 14th, which is adding 5 new maps to Captain Toad. I'm probably going to buy that, to be completely blunt. Because, as I've said many, many times, and I feel like I'll probably say this another 30 times, I don't actually dislike DLC as a concept. I like DLC... Okay, Devil May Cry 5 it is, Lamo. Thank you again. I like DLC that's what I call substantial. There's a word for the substantive or something like that. But anyways, Lamu to DMC5. I like DLC that actually is worth a damn. Additional maps to play, yes, worth a damn, in my opinion. So I'll probably be plopping for that. That's coming out March 14th. Bloodstained, the actual Bloodstained is showing up. They're showing, it looks like it's going to be designed very similarly to several of the more traditional Castlevanias, and the fact that you'll actually gain new abilities rather than just, new attacks or new spells, which will be able to change the way you maneuver through the castle. Cool. It had a very obvious Soten reference in the trailer. Duh. It also is going to have cosmetics and side quests and more story focus, and it's coming out in the summer. Here's the thing that I'm weirded out by. I just wanted to talk about this very briefly. I don't know if it's going to be better than the 8-bit version. Now, I can just hear someone being like, oh, he just likes the 8-bit thing because it's old. No, I like the 8-bit version because it was one of the best designed games I've ever seen. Without exaggeration, the 8-bit version was really well designed. It kept blowing me away by how precise and how much care and craft and effort went into that frickin' game. So now I'm actually at the point now where I'm looking at the real game and thinking, God, can it possibly hold up to the random game they made on the side, which was amazing? Which one, Dakota? Because there's 2. Actually, there's 3, but let's not get into that. Either way, I kickstarted Bloodstained forever ago. I'm getting Bloodstained on the Switch, so we'll see. It's already funded for Premiere Run, so that's happening. Well, I don't know, Max Time. Really, I don't. It's just... yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Dragon Quest Builders 2. Can I just say... yes, really quick. I really liked Dragon Quest Builders 1 a lot. Dragon Quest Builders 2 contains both local and online co-op. It also is going to have a 4-player mode where you just go around and build stuff. It's going to have a campaign mode. It's going to allow you to go underwater, to run, to fly, to glide. It's going to have a world map. It's going to have map warp points. It's going to have all sorts of new stuff you can build and design, and another campaign story mode. And it sounds incredibly awesome, and I can't wait. July 12th on that one. I'm super excited about that game. Dragon Quest XI. Okay, so this is when Max Kime can talk. So let's talk about the good first. It's coming with the 16-bit mode, which is basically what Dragon Quest XI already had on the 3DS. I don't know if it's the full 3DS mode or if it's just like the overworld and towns. I don't have information on that. I don't think it's even up yet, Max Time, if I'm being honest. It's coming with the actual orchestrated soundtrack rather than the MIDI kind of crap one. It's going to have Japanese audio. It's going to have new actual quests and story for the party members. And all of that's awesome. All of that, at that point, is awesome. I am, without hesitation, going to buy that game a second time on the Switch because hell yes. It's coming out in the fall. Here's the catch. All of these updates might be coming out for people who already bought the base game. And I stress that word might because the way they talked about it was they're like, we're not going to do that. It's still in the realm of the maybe. They still have a chance to fix this. But as of right now, people who already own Dragon Quest XI on PC or PS4 or whatever, they're not going to get all these new features. Now, That sucks. just to put that as absolutely bluntly as I can. That sucks. They have until fall to change their minds on that. But honestly, I don't think they're going to. And again, we have the exclusive problem. You know? So there's a game coming out called Tsum Tsum, or Sum Sum. My only note on that game is, what the heck is this? Moving on. Hang on. We'll get to Link's Awakening. It's the last thing on the list. Let me get there, guys. I do have some thoughts on that one, and I do want to hear your thoughts on that one. Starlink, which, God, I swear I'm going to play this game someday. It's just been sitting in this box for like a month at this point. It looks like a really good game. I'm legitimately excited to play this game. Like, 3 people have premiere runned it, so I mean, I guess you guys don't want to see that game, but regardless, Starlink is getting a update in April. They haven't said if it's a paid update or a free update. But regardless, it's adding the rest of the Fox team, so you'll be able to play as Fox, Slippy, Falco, and Peppy. Each one of them actually has their own new abilities and their own new movesets. They're also adding the Wolf team and additional missions and quests you can do specifically regarding the Star Wolf team. All of that sounds awesome. They're also apparently adding other stuff, and they only hinted at that because they haven't got all the information yet, but new stuff will include faction missions, races, and other stuff. Awesome. Starlink looked like a great game. I'm looking forward to playing it. Woo. Rune Factory 4 is getting a re-release on the Switch. Yeah, no kidding, Dean Badine. Now, I'm not a Rune Factory fan, really. I played one of them on the DS, I want to say. It was fun. I enjoyed it, don't mistake me. I've just never really been super into Rune Factory. Yes, Irongrog. Yes, more exclusives. All the Star Fox stuff in Starlink is Switch exclusive, which is probably one of the only times that makes any kind of sense, but even there, I wish they'd kind of... Anyways, so, Rune Factory 4 is getting re-released on the Switch. I'm in favor of games being released on the Switch. Yay. I have beaten Mega Man 11, although I haven't finished all the optional stuff yet, because I was doing the Mega Man Classic stuff first. But yeah, we did a full stream on it in Author's Zone. Where was I? Stardew Valley has basically supplanted Rune Factory for me, if I'm just being completely honest. However, I'm still in favor of it, and I just gotta quote the actual trailer for a second. Heart-pounding newlywed life. However, as Leander points out, they are actually making Rune Factory 5. That's good. We have no news about it whatsoever, other than the fact that they are, in fact, continuing the franchise, and I'm in favor of that. So, there's a new game coming out called Oninaki. I'm probably the only person who thinks this, but this looks legitimately disinteresting to me. Thank you, Fuzzy Duck. I love Paper Mario's music. I figured it's appropriate for a Nintendo Direct comment, right? So it's a game about reincarnation. Everyone reincarnates. You're not allowed to grieve too much, otherwise you don't reincarnate. If you give into despair, you don't reincarnate. There's some horrible stuff going on that's making people fall into despair. You can run around to the world map and interact with things on the living world and in the dead world and switch between the two on the fly. The different souls you interact with will give you new abilities and movesets. Basically, anybody who's played the GBA Castlevania game, whose name I suddenly can't think of, will know what I'm talking about. In other words, your actual attacks depend on which soul you're using. That sounds kind of cool. It's coming out in summer. It's made by the same people and in the same style as I Am Setsuna and Lost Sphere. That, sucks, in my opinion. And no, Mario and Luigi music would never work. So, let me just go ahead and say something. I didn't like I Am Setsuna, and I actively disliked Lost Sphere, to the point where I basically shoved it off the Premiere Run list. We'll see. I'll let you guys decide, as I always do. It's just no interest. I have to AFK 1 second. I'll be right back. Don't worry. I'm not even going to mute the mic. I'm right here. You can hear me! I have not left you, my children, or have I? secretly, I have left you forever. I swear I'm doing something. Just give me a minute. I've had a very busy morning. I meant to have this done in advance. I didn't because I suck. Yep. Finished up. What didn't I like about it? Everything! That's not quite true. But I didn't like quite a few things about it. I didn't like the combat, I didn't like the level design, I didn't like the music. I didn't like the story. Well, the plot. Maybe Velaquenta? Maybe. Looks like sounds like it's working. What the heck is Cinch, Tazara? Yeah, there was some really good melancholy in I Am Setsuna. I will definitely give you that. Low run of Death Stranding. I would rather eat glass. No. One moment, please. Yeah, I know. Hang on. Gotta switch this down to this. Ignore this. This is just my farm. This is basically what I do when I'm falling asleep. Yay. Check it out real quick. Just showing it off. Yay. It's not super well designed. I'm going through winter, as you can see. What was that? Well, anyways. Oh, hang on. Did I feed? Oh, no, I didn't. Hang on. Hang on. Real quick. Gotta make sure the cat has water. It's very important. Who's a good cat? Who's a good cat? Yeah, okay, so I'm not actually showing this off. We're going to close that. Now I want to show this off. Yoshi's Crafted World had a demo that came out when the Direct finished. Stardew Valley is out. Yes, that was Stardew Valley. That is, in my opinion, that was weird, a good game. You may disagree with me at your purview on that one. Hang on. Sorry, I'm having some tech issues here. Please stand by. Okay, there we go. Now, I've actually already poked at this briefly, but I want to show it off a little bit because that's me. Yes, you are, FM Nito. Now, I'll be honest, this demo didn't really impress me all that much. Except it kind of did? Hear me out, okay? So, first of all, the game controls very nicely and smoothly, as it should. And there's most of the usual features of a Yoshi game. You know, you're running around, you want to get all the flowers, you want to get all the red coins, etc., right? I consider Stardew Valley to be the best game in its genre. Make of that what you will, Baron. That's the best way I can put that. There is no such thing, Plutonia. So, the first thing I want to point out is how the eggs work. Here, let me get another egg really quick. So, I believe this is actually a first for the franchise, but when you pull out an egg, rather than be like, you can just aim, just wherever, however, like this. So, the way the aiming works, and it's actually surprisingly smart about this. This is all manually crafted level design aspects. If you're aiming like this, it's going to go up or down. If you aim at anything that you can actually interact with in the background, like that, you actually start aiming it this way. See? However, if there was nothing in that direction, it just goes straight. Make sense? So the aiming is basically smart aiming, depending on what you're aiming at, like this. And you will have to do, like, mobile aiming like this for certain things. Obviously, this is just level 1, so it doesn't feature any of that, but we've already seen levels which show that. Now, the only other thing I want to show off about this is... This is... Okay, so the way they're doing this is it's basically Mario 64. Now, to explain what I mean by that, Mario 64 and several other games like it is effectively the hub world mentality and the unlock mentality. That's the important part. So with unlocks... Whoops. See, I missed there. With unlocks, you get X amount of such and such, and in getting X amount of such and such, that allows you to progress. Make sense? In Mario 64, it was, of course, stars. So as you go around and you get stars, you can unlock new levels and new areas. That's the same thing this is doing. It's actually the flowers this time. I don't know if you paid attention on the world map, but I actually have like 18 flowers rather than simply the usual 5 per level. Just showing off a little bit of the pseudo 3D nature of the levels here. It's the Dark Souls of Yoshi games. Hang on. Now... I missed a piece. Whoops. Now, the aesthetics, whether that's you're into it or not, that's a matter of opinion. I'm not willing to lay judgment one way or another on that. So that's up to you, whether you like it. Personally, I kind of like the aesthetics of Yoshi's Island, you know, the old one, the best, because I loved the crayon look. But I'm with this. They've also been going out of the way to make references to the Mario-verse in this. My personal favorite I'll actually show off in a second. Whoops. I can aim, I swear. There it is. Oh, don't worry, Zoan. I'm going to show it off. I'm also just showing off that you can do this. I'm just kind of racing through the level really quick here to show off something. Or two things, actually. Now, you can actually shoot while you're on the train ride, although there's nothing really relevant in this one, too. But in later levels, it's pretty clear that during vehicle sections, you'll actually have to be active while doing it. Yeah, I got some serious Little Big Planet vibes from this. Whether that's good or bad, I mean, that's up to you. Yes. No, I missed. Oh, well. Of course, Tesla. I mean, this is Nintendo. Come on. What would you expect, except for Eldritch Abominations? And then you beat level. Woo! Super hard. Of those two, I prefer Yoshi's Woolly World. So, as you can see, if you get 100 coins, you get a thing. If you have 20 hearts, you get a thing. You can kind of see the Mario 64 vibes here, right? Coins are used for later stuff that's not actually in the demo. However, once you finish any given stage... Now, there's actually a cutscene that's supposed to play, but obviously since I've done it before, the cutscene's not playing. However, when you start the flip side... Well, it isn't loading a separate thing externally. When you finish a level, something will happen, and then you will immediately be here and ready to go back through the same level. Obviously, certain aspects of the level change as a consequence of that, and you have to basically get back to the start point now. The actual rules change completely, and in this case, there's a timer. The actual bonus thing, and you can see it right there, is to beat the game, or excuse me, beat the level within 2 minutes and 30 seconds to get the final flower. I like the pretzel box there. I mean, they were in the original Tesla, so that's probably why. So you go around, you get the puppies. Ooh, puppies. You see that? I just wanted to point this out really quick. That says Moo Moo Meadows. I just want to point that out because apparently there are quite a few little references like that to other, Mario properties and Mario things. No, I was too slow. I was too slow. Come back. Ah! Hang on, hang on. There we go. Come here, dog. Now, if you're paying attention, you're like, well, this doesn't seem like a very interesting level. And I don't blame you for saying that. I had the same thought. What I'm most interested in is the concept. Because I love this concept of levels changing based on the way you go through it, going through each level effectively 3 times. See, after I beat this game, beat this level the first time, the second thing opened up immediately, like I said. As soon as I beat it the second time, I was given a challenge mission to go back through this level a third time, and in so doing, fully complete the level. I like that concept, and I feel like that concept is going to go to much better use in the future. And I've seen several of the levels that they've shown in the trailers, and I think I'm right. I think they're going to use this to great effect. And as you can see, I have 13 flowers, which mean I can unlock 13 flowers worth of stages. Ooh. Now, obviously, that's basically it for the demo. Now, I've played that one. I have not played this one, which is the next thing that came out. Yeah, it's literally a tutorial, so I'm assuming it's going to get better. I'm excited. I've had the game pre-ordered since July. Last July. So, obviously I'm sold. So this, moving on now. So this is Yoshi's Crafted World. This is a game that we've actually looked at a few times. It's shown up during E3. It's called Daemon Ex Machina, is actually how you're supposed to say it. It's spelled Daemon Ex Machina. Now, I haven't played this one yet, so this is going to be a first time for me. I don't know what to think of this one. One thing I do notice is that this demo is a limited time thing, which at first made me go, what? However, this demo is also specifically designed for feedback. In other words, they're actually taking feedback from players on this demo. Call me crazy, but I'm with that. There is a skip cutscenes option, by the way. So you can design your person! Woo! Hang on, let's make our skin, really weird. There we go. Hang on, let's make our skin, blue. There we go. We gotta join the genie in being blue. There we go. Hang on, where's... Oh, there we go. Sorry, these controls are a little weird. There we go. Perfect! Perfect! Oh, you want Sith skin? Alright, hang on. Let's go back to Sith skin. We shall be one with the Sith. And we shall have green hair. Perfect! We look like an Oompa Loompa. Oh my god. Anyways, there's a bunch of stuff you can do here. You can even change your suit coloration. Not your suit ability, just your suit coloration. We're, of course, going to go with our usual. There we go. Confirm. My name is Rookie, because I don't care. Yes. God, we look horrible. I don't know, Shaldir. If I was in charge, I would just have a team of people whose job it is to sift through them and basically sort the relevant content, or relevant feedback from the bad feedback, and then actually go through the good feedback.
I am the operator who serves as the liaison between orbital and outers like yourself.
Yes, Venters.
You have just recovered from transplant surgery to install your neural link terminal.
That's why you're in full armor.
This time, your biometric data in the oval link will be updated and registered with Orbital. This is your arsenal on loan from Orbital. Before we register you as a mercenary, You must complete an aptitude test. Accept the order from this terminal and await dispatch.
Yes, Dean Badine. Oops. Okay. Well, let's do it. I'm ready. No? Okay, let's go back over here. Whoa, whoa. Hang on, that's wrong. Oh, God. That's a lot of stuff. Alright. There we go. Let's flip that, flip that. Okay, we're good. Oh, that's much better. I haven't actually played the Armored Core series, no. Orders! Give me my tutorial mission, let's do it. Sure. Yeah, you can rebind keys on a console. Can you believe that? Sorry. I actually don't...
Arsenal boot sequence.
I don't know if this is a Switch exclusive.
Normal.
I just know the demo is on the Switch.
Generator pool. Normal. Energy limiter released. Electromagnetic armor operating at normal levels. Weapon safety mechanism released. All systems normal. Commencing launch.
So I've... Oh my god, anybody ever play Battletech? Or, no, that's not what it was called. What was it called? It's a SNES game. It's actually 2 SNES games. Oh god, what was it called? It was for the bazooka.
The outer aptitude test will begin soon. This is a live fire exercise, but you have nothing to worry about. Hardly anyone fails this test. 2 veteran mercenaries will serve as observers during the test.
I'd be pretty happy, Baron.
This is Reaper of the Western Seven. I'll be joining you as an observer.
And I'm Queen of Panzercrown. Charmed, I'm sure.
What?
Observers for the aptitude test are selected at random from a pool of qualified mercenaries. They're here to make sure the test is conducted fairly, and to intervene if your life is threatened.
I should mention that I'm the one hitting A to advance this, if that matters. Hi, Eitri. We're trying out the Daemon X Machina game. Oh, that's gonna bother me. The second game was called Metal Combat Falcon's Revenge. I don't remember the name of the first game, but I actually liked both games. But I'm getting a real serious, similar visual vibe of those games in this game. And I'm sure nobody's ever heard of them.
What Four said, if things get dicey, just ask us for help. That said, don't expect to pass if you're in dire need.
For Oval, and the world as a whole, Outers like yourself are among our most valuable resources.
Oh, that doesn't sound ominous. Remember, you are a valued asset in this company.
However, if the cost of your arsenal repairs consistently exceeds the profit you generate, your value may be reassessed.
Da-da-da-da.
We get it. Let's get this over with already. Like Four said, hardly anyone fails this test.
Oh, that sucks,
Not
Max
sure
time.
what to do. Prioritize your survival. Just trust your instincts and you'll pass with flying colors.
Yeah, when I get out of this cutscene, I'm going to try to adjust the audio volume.
The aptitude test. Please direct your attention to your radar.
Alright, so let's turn down the background a bit here. Turn it down to half. There we go.
The aptitude test will begin once you cross the blue boundary. Move out and proceed to the designated coordinates as instructed.
Ah! Okay. Blue is ally, red is enemy, orange is target, arsenal wreckage, ammo, recovery tank. Okay. Well, this is already better than Anthem in one way. I can just fly, rather than glide. Whee. Okay, I'm with it.
Consult your radar and proceed to the designated coordinates as instructed.
You can adjust the sensitivity, by the way. Okay, so that makes sense. So I have a left-handed weapon and a right-handed weapon. Left hand is ZX, right hand is ZR.
You have arrived at the
So this
designated
is
coordinates.
my shield here.
The
See, I'm putting it up and
aptitude
down.
test will now begin. The next phase will begin shortly. Initiating mock battle sequence. Destroy all enemy AIs. The vital points gauge will deplete as you receive
I
damage.
may have to adjust the sensitivity.
This gauge represents your arsenal's durability. Should it fall to zero, the test will end. To lock onto an enemy, align the sights in
So
the
yeah, those of you who've played Armored Core, how similar are we at here?
Once locked on, you may fire. Your arsenal's OS will correct for any minor lapses in firearm accuracy. Use your boost ability to avoid enemy fire, and to get within range to return fire. Complete the order within the time limit.
Yeah, this would be great with a mouse and keyboard. I'll just tell you that right now.
Processing. Designated enemy AIs have been detected by
It feels like there's a little bit of a aim assist. Like, not full-on aim assist, but if I'm aiming within the hitbox of an enemy, it looks like it does home into the enemy. I'm not sure of that yet. I'm just speculating. Woohoo, a Ringo candy. I love Ringo candy. No gyro aiming that I'm aware of, no. Whoops, whoops. Anybody who's played NMMO can probably get the flying controls. You can actually just straight up jump. Or if you jump and then hold it down, you fly. And basically just activate flying. So for example, this is just me tapping the button. This is me tapping and then... This is me tapping and then holding. See? Make sense? I do know there's going to be weapon customization. That's the whole left arm, right arm thing. Yeah, let's try out the missiles. Let's go fight something over here. Missiles are love. Missiles are life. Ignore the completely destroyed moon in the distance there. I'm sure that's nothing. It actually looks like the missiles do less damage than my shots. But of course, there's more of them and they home, so that would make sense. Also, someone earlier mentioned the idea of, like... oh, the boost regenerates. That's kind of neat. The idea of being able to play, like, rather than just having an awesome mech, you start off with a crappy mech, and you're basically mechanicking your way to a good mech. That sounds awesome to me, but then again, I'm a weirdo, so what the hell do I know? All 12 missiles locked on.
Good work. Get some rest before you tackle your next assignment.
You should get your test results right away. See you around on the battlefield.
Aptitude test complete. You have passed. Congratulations. Your Arsenal link key has been received. You are now a registered mercenary for Orbital and its affiliated consortiums. From here on, you will complete assigned orders and help us work toward a peaceful future. Thank you for your service.
So you'll notice simply being near the red lyrium is a danger thing. And appears to be... Is it universally a danger? Hang on. Yep. See? Femto zone is what they call that. How do I stop being here? Oh, I also noticed they're labeled on the minimap. I didn't even notice that. There we go. No, I do not, Doctor Who. Sorry. Yeah, it appears I do work for Blackwater. So expenses, no ally requests, no damages, so I just make 1,000 sea bills. Woo! The assault rifle did this much damage, and this is a lot of feedback for a fight. That's kind of weird. This is the... what is this? Oh, this is how much I used my my bonus stuff, and I used it mostly for boosting, of course. I got a weapon! And a paint. I love paint. I need more red paint! Yeah, white earth, Baron. I'm kidding. Or would, like, yeah, no, earth, water. Yeah, I'm with that. Or would earth be the opposite of air? So then that would be fire. So then it'd be like white fire. There we go. Oh, I'm just sitting here, like, waiting for it to load. I can change my upper body. I can actually increase my outer HP and reload speed. Oh, so this is just straight up modifications. Which just cost money, it looks like. Which I don't have that amount of money. What do we got here? Change my appearance. Yeah, let's fix this. This is horrible. Actually, no, hang on. We'll keep the hair. Or, excuse me, we'll keep the skin. But let's fix the hair. That's better. See, doesn't that look better? But yeah, it looked like there's going to be some out of mech gameplay is what that looks like to me. Since we are the outer, aka the person, the pilot, whatever you want to call that. Alright, what do we got? What's else? Whoop, hang on, actually. Back. No. Okay, yeah, so we don't need that shield, right? So instead, let's put a... is it this thing? There we go. So we'll just go gun. That sounds like a good idea. You can also sort, which is awesome. Looks like left and right weapons are basically equal. So, whatever, I'm with it. Yeah, I noticed that there's that front mission thing, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to. And then we got our missiles, which is all we got there. We don't even have an auxiliary weapon or pylons yet, so that's other weapons we'll get in the future. Apparently we will have head, body, processor, arm, and leg parts, too. Again, I don't know front mission well enough to really compare this. Oh, let's go do that. Upgrade. We upgraded our processor, guys. It's cool. I mean, I'm technically not bald. I shave. Alright, next mission. What do we got? The Immortals have invaded Sky Union territory. Work with the Reclaimer squads to eliminate them. Yeah, okay.
Order briefing. This order is a request from Sky Union. The details are as follows. Hostile AI forces have invaded Sky Union's territory within the Overlink. Each mercenary must swiftly dispose of all enemies in the designated area. We have also confirmed that the invading enemy force consists of these seized AI.
Misko, originally it was for health reasons. Nowadays it's a mark of shame.
For this order, each Reclaimer squad will be in charge of a specific area.
Hi, Nymph.
You will be working with Bullet Works. Briefing over.
I can't do any dispatch requests here. No. What I really want to know is, can I shoot both weapons at the same time? It's the first thing I'm going to try. This is called Demon Ex Machina, Bella. It is apparently a Switch exclusive, according to Maxime, which sucks. But at least it's on the Switch.
Hey, Rookie. If you got any questions, hit me up. I'd be happy to show you the ropes.
So you're a vet now, Johnny.
See what I gotta put up with? Come on, Corporal. When are you gonna stop treating me like a newbie?
4. Send us the order data.
Uploading. That should be everything. Consult this data for detailed information about the area of operations. Continue your approach. The order will begin soon.
Catch you later, Rookie.
Okay. So salvage is the thing in the game. You can also apparently automatically equip stuff if you have an open slot. Interesting.
Scanning battlefield. Minor concentrations of femto detected. Electronics will not be affected. Initiating each arsenal's data link. Opening squad communications channel. Begin the order.
Hey, Rookie. Looks like you made it to the battlefield in one piece. Welcome to the Oval Link. Exciting, isn't it?
Did I just pick up the tank? Yeah, I picked up the tank. Oh my god.
Come on, man. What do you keep busting my chops for? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. Name's Johnny D. I'm with Bulletworks. And that lovely ray of sunshine is the Corporal. He's with Bulletworks, too.
Please remember to use my call sign, Falcon.
My call sign is my real name. Man, I wish I had a cool sounding call sign like Falcon.
You can shoot both at once. Can confirm.
Help us ID each other.
If you say so, Corporal. Anyway, Bulletworks has been placed in charge of this area. Sky-U managed to hold this area for a long time. But every now and then, AI invaders will show up knocking at the door, trying to get in. And when that happens, we get called in to clean house.
Pest control, more or less.
Pretty much. You probably already know about the Immortals, but just in case. They're responsible for corrupting all these AI that we've been sent to destroy.
As you
But
know.
our arsenals are more than a match for them. These AI might as well be fish in a barrel.
Immortals must be destroyed on sight. We'll get a bonus for each one we take out. Stay within the area of operations. 4 will alert you if you're about to stray.
Just leave it to me.
Also, sometimes on the battlefield, you can salvage equipment for your arsenal. Whatever you find, you keep. Try to recover any equipment you come across. If you're lucky, it'll be high-quality stuff. But most of the time, it's junk. I think that about covers everything.
Clustering is a bad tactic, so spread out. If you need help, call for me or John. Over and out.
Woohoo! Time to get this party.
Yeah, that's a little too info dumpy, but whatever. Like, the actual world building side of it wasn't too bad. It's just, here's 1,000 things to tell you in 5 seconds. Well, okay. So what do you guys think just from looking at it? This is definitely a game that's going to cause me issues. I'll just go ahead and say that. Because, well, you know, it's effectively an FPS with a controller. But, I'm still enjoying it. I'm still with it. Yeah, the movement takes getting used to. There's basically, for lack of a better way to put it, combos of things you can press that allow you to do some different kind of maneuvers. So I'll try to demonstrate since I'm not killing this guy. Jesus, he's got some health. Okay, so you notice how I'm still going up even though I'm not actually holding the B button? That's one example of what I'm talking about. It'll actually basically keep in mind your last trajectory until you deliberately try to change it by stopping, like I just did. Like I said, it takes some getting used to. Now, the go up button is very logical. It's B. It's the same as the jump and the fly button. So, gaining altitude is very quick and easy. Losing altitude is a lot harder. That's L3. Or L2, or whatever you want to call it. You know, pushing in the L stick, basically, is what that is. Now, I do have one minor complaint here, which may eventually become a major complaint. And I will probably actually give feedback to this effect. Unless I'm missing it, the minimap gives no indication of height, like at all. And as a consequence, I don't know if the enemies I'm looking at are above or below me, and considering how much vertical space there's to work with, it's kind of an issue. If you guys are seeing something I'm not, please feel free to share. I do like how quickly missile lock happens, though. Boop. Like that. Now, I know what you're going to say, because I noticed it too. It looks like there's like a range, so if something is near me, in terms of its Z-coordinate, the, oh, that's a lot of targets. It's fully colored. If it's below or above me, it's kind of darker, the shade, but that's it. And it doesn't tell me if it's up or down, like I said. If that's by design, then whatever. That's just something I'll have to live with and possibly give a gameplay negative to, if I ever actually do a review of this game. There are a lot of assault rifles here. Oh, I don't have to be right on something to loot it. That's actually kind of nice. Oh no, the city's fine. Yeah, it's not Paragus, that's the moon. Or what's left of it. The graphics are fine. I tend to prefer stylized graphics to realistic graphics in general. The only weird thing I have with the graphics is the background there is so red, it's a little distracting at times. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody else is having that problem, but every now and again I basically lose my, you know, in my vision a little bit because of the red background. It's one of the reasons I've been trying to aim a little bit down so much here. I will also say that there's not enough contrast. So, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Or not.
Initiating return sequence. Follow instructions to return to base.
Over already, huh? Looks like the rookie's still in one piece, too. Time to head home and...
Wait, Johnny. I don't like how this smells. Something's coming.
You and your nose.
Access granted. Sky Union's radar station has confirmed the appearance of immortals in your vicinity. Transmitting target data.
Well, I guess we'll see how a boss fight works. Hi!
What am I even looking at? Their sizes. In class?
Oh, there's more than one of them.
You sure we're not in over our heads here?
Order updated. Sky Union has modified the request as follows. Stop the immortals from advancing further into Sky Union's territory. That is all.
What? You've got to be kidding me! What's the call, Corporal?
We're right where we need to be.
Should have known you'd say something like that. Ah, fine. I guess we're doing this.
There are no whiners in bullet points. Besides, I'm sure BG planned this.
Frame rate seems fine. I have to say it that way because I'm actually using the preview window. I don't have it up on my second monitor right now. I could... Here, I'll put it up on my second monitor really quick. That shouldn't take me too long. All I have to do is hit this button. Now, I'm probably going to sound a little bit weirder because I'm turning away from the mic to look at the monitor now. This also means I'm going to have a harder time reading chat because chat's way over there. Come on. There we go. Oh, that looks so much nicer. Oh, I can read the text. Holy crap. Okay. Oh, jeez. Missiles. Missiles, missiles, missiles. Okay, this does look immediately nicer. Well, actually looking at this, not on the preview pane. But I will... So what I was talking about earlier is the lack of contrast. One of the issues I was having was the fact that the some of the enemies, especially, just did not have distinctions to really make them look different from, you know, the ground. And so in several cases there just was not a proper design of contrast, either in colors or in shades, to make it so I could tell what the hell I was looking at. You know what I mean? I would say this is 30 FPS right now, looking at it on the monitor. Which sucks, but whatever.
Fierce gale is approaching.
Fierce gale? What are you talking about? You're still alive, huh? You've gotten stronger, it seems.
Corporal! Johnny G! Get out of the way!
Major! Lieutenant! Falcon, Johnny G. We'll take it from here.
Have I been doing damage to this thing? I can't even tell. Of course, Tesla. In 2 days, I beat the entirety of all 5 games. No, Tesla, no.
Follow my lead.
I won't always have your back, you know.
The Gigan class, huh? I know you want to kill me, but you need to remember that. Besides, we both know I'm the superior pilot. Just focus on defeating these for now.
Fine. But someday you'll be next.
Random rivalry for no reason. Yes, Velaquenta. Oh, they're dead. I contributed. I'm gonna go get that thing quick.
Order complete.
Now
The
this is
Order's objectives have been achieved. Initiating return sequence.
This is something I do kind of like. I have basically a minute after beating the mission to just roam around and loot or salvage, which is cool. I like that. Or I could just hit the button and immediately go back to base. A auto loot system or something like that would probably be better, but you know, whatever. Yeah, no kidding, Eitri. I am Maugrim the Great. What is that? And that's the end of him. Quick here, so we don't get any negatives for that. When I'm done, Fiendish. Translation, I have no idea. I don't know how long this demo is. You are seeing it for the first time, as am I. Yay. Money. I love money. Money's the best. I don't actually love money.
I would be happy to provide any information you need for future orders. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, what are immortals?
Immortals are a new form of life. That much is certain. After the moon fell, an unknown phenomenon caused some AIs to regard humanity as a threat that must be annihilated.
I'm sorry, I like how casual she is about that. After the moon fell, that would be an apocalyptic level event there.
These immortals have their own unique language, as well as individual personalities. They can also corrupt other AIs and human weapon systems, assimilating them into their ranks to bolster their forces. Working alongside the consortiums, our goal at Orbital is to control all areas in the Oval Link.
Our goal is to control. You will assist us in maintaining our order.
Orders to eliminate immortals are assigned to mercenaries like you to achieve that goal.
Okay. How can I get stronger as a mercenary?
Your arsenal's power is tied to your own. You can also spend credits on weapons and armor to upgrade your arsenal. By building your reputation with a consortium, you can earn access to experimental weaponry. Keep battling and improving your war record, and you'll become as strong as other mercenaries soon enough.
I've actually commented on this before. I don't actually like this style of mech, personally. Like, I don't actively dislike it for the most part, but I prefer more of a Battletech style of mech. You know, a walking tank look, rather than a, I don't know what to call it, Gundam style thing, you know. That's just preference. That's just aesthetics.
Your payout is higher than usual this time, due to your order objectives being updated. You can request higher payouts, but repeated requests are more likely to fail, and can damage your reputation.
Interesting. Okay. Well, now that I got money, we gotta go here. Yeah, I also don't care for slick look in general. So now that I have enough, let's see. So I can increase my lock-on? Gain the ability to lock onto enemies as an outer. Sure. Let's begin the surgery. Ah! And now I am the elusive man. So I can increase blitz weapon power or femto absorption? What? Increase the amount of femto an outer can absorb. Or increase the... I don't have to shave either of those things. Let's just not do that. Ooh, yeah, let's do this. Increase HP. Yeah! Why don't they use painkillers? Okay, we're cool. I can increase grenade stock, add a blade attack, increase melee attack, or the most important thing. I didn't need that arm anyways, apparently. Oh my god. It's up to you, Bella. I mean, I would say no, to be completely honest. Oh, I can reset my organic body. That costs 20,000. Jesus. Increased mobility. Yeah, I can afford that. Let's do that. I didn't need those legs anyways. Alright, I'm ready. Who are you? Why are you in my place? I will crush you with my bionic arm. Or the opposite of a bionic arm. Is this it? Are we done? Is there a third one? There is a third one, yeah, okay.
Order briefing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Briefing will now commence. This order comes as a direct request from Sky Union. Corrupted AI units are confirmed to be gathering near a data center located in Orbital's territory. Your objective is to eliminate the enemy AIs and protect the data center. Complete any necessary preparations, then stand by and await dispatch.
I was actually going to comment on the fact that this looks like what's left of Asia, assuming this is Earth, of course.
Briefing over.
I mean, considering we literally already know
Seems simple enough.
that there's AIs that can take over other machines and AIs, why are we trying to mechanize more of our body? Like, am I the only one who sees the flaw in that?
But why is Sky Union footing the bill to defend a facility within Orbital's territory?
Yeah. I was wondering the exact same thing.
The historical records contained in this data center predate the Moonfall. Sky Union does not want to lose them.
Predate the Moonfall. Wait, do you mean?
So, it's a library then.
Yes, my lord. That is correct.
Huh? Library? What's that?
A facility for collecting and storing physical books. These books could also be loaned to the general public.
4. That's a literal library. He just means library in the sense that it's an archive of old records and data.
Either way, it's not like people still read real books nowadays. Just so you know, Rookie, you can hit up 4 and she'll tell you anything you want to know.
Anything? Okay. Oh,
I can provide any pertinent information from Orbital or the Consortium's databases. All you have to do is ask.
See? Doesn't matter if it's the latest jams or new comic books. Whatever you need, 4 will hook you up.
man, I totally need the latest comic books.
I suppose it is a relic of the past. Still, a data center's effectively a modern library, except everything's digitized, which takes up far less space.
Wait, a date escape?
True, physical media is more cumbersome than digital. And yet, I believe some things just shouldn't be digitized.
Really? Can you name one thing, Savior? Like an arm or eyes? Just spitballing here.
A book's binding bears the feelings of those who have touched it. Why human joy and sorrow is the very essence of art.
So this guy's the villain.
Path paved by human history represents the totality of our culture. Soulless AIs cannot be allowed to destroy it.
Either that or he's the well-meaning zealot who ends up basically functioning as a villain even though he's not evil.
So my street art and jams are part of culture too? Wow, gotta say, I like the sound of that. Yeah, my art's exploding all over the place.
Please. Your juvenile endeavors wholly lack artistic merit.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Don't be rude just because my art's too high con.
Blah 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 blah. Hang on, let's get on to the next mission.
Laugh.
Alright. Art.
Order.
Yeah, what kind of...
Affirmative.
4. Register the...
Registration process. Complete any...
I'm tagging my...
BG must...
I hope to finish...
Jesus. Okay. Oh, hey, we can see the hangar if we want to customize stuff on the fly. That's kind of cool. I can change my arsenal name too. I felt like it. Yeah, exactly, Octavian. This world is imperfect. Also, I hate to disagree, but I actually don't like the art style of Octopath per se, Misko. I would if not for the blurring. The blurring, having played Octopath for like 40 hours now, the blurring gives me a headache, and I hate it. If the blurring was gone, that would be awesome. Oh, this is... Oh, it's an escort mission! Oh, that's great! That is wonderful.
Sky Union has applied landmines to defend the facility. There is no time to waste. Place the mines before the enemy AI forces arrive.
Okay.
Enemy AI forces detected. Destroy them at once.
Place.
Scanning battlefield. Femto concentrations are nearly zero. Short-range radar will not be effective. Initiating each arsenal data link. Opening squad communications channel.
Might check 1, 2. So that's a library, huh?
I'll take all that.
That big wall is just begging for a wild-style masterpiece from yours truly.
Don't get cocky around cannon pod. If they shoot you down, you're on your own.
Wow, you got no chill. Say, where's that other guy?
I'm right here. If you 3 fail, I'll finish this myself. You can take solace in that.
Excuse me? So you just expect to get paid without doing any fighting?
I fight in accordance with my principles, but I alone decide when to take up my sword.
Oh, come on! Really, dude? Don't accept an order if you're not gonna fight?
Ignore him. That kid pulls this sort of stunt all the time. Just do your job and keep your mouth shut.
Fine. I got my volume maxed. Time to bring the noise! Don't fall behind, rookie! Let's jam!
So apparently femto's a good thing? Like, I have a femto meter there. I don't know if you saw that. And it's at full now. I don't know what that means.
Detecting AI reinforcements invading from the north and south.
Yeah, it's just something that's always bothered me, Misko. It's the kind of thing that I don't like in games in general, basically. I know why games... Hell, I shouldn't even say the games. I don't like things that do it in general. I know it's a common thing, especially in movies. It just bugs me. And when it's overused, it tends to give me a headache. And I feel like it's a bit overused in Octopath.
Invading from the north and
Because the distance between... Whoa! The distance it takes for it to become blurry is really short in Octopath. So, like, you can literally be walking down in a particular field, and it's just... blur, 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 blur. I do like the sprite work, though. I can see all of it. That guy's got some damage on him. Yeesh. I want to take your head. Apparently I can only choose one thing to salvage. That's interesting. Now I really need to heal. Holy moly.
the defense target's response is weakening. 80% remaining.
So it looks like the AI partners, this is part of what I was testing, are actually fighting. and worth a damn. I don't know how worth a damn. I imagine I would fail if I just left it to them, but at least they seem to be doing something, so that's nice. Missiles don't seem to do nearly as much to the tanks. They seem to be more of an anti-fighter thing. That, basically. Hi, Nerazaz. This is Demon X Machina. I don't know much about it, really. Okay, let's go salvage some more. Legs, sure. Honestly, my ultimate thought, Misko, is I just wish it was an option, you know? If there was just a toggle to turn off the fog, the blur, that'd be awesome. I'd be down for that. Let's see how much quicker my machine guns take these guys down. Granted, I am shooting 2 of them at once. So. Ah!
New units detected on the radar.
More AI reinforcements? Wait, these aren't AIs.
Yo, what's up?
4, what exactly are we looking at?
They are arsenals, not AI units. Their ID signals are affiliated with Horizon.
Arsenals? Horizon arsenals? Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Verifying information. Please stand by.
4, open the wide area channel. What do you two think you're doing? We're here on an official order from Sky Union. Sky Union? Captain, what should we do?
Only a slight complication. Our mission remains unchanged. Destroy the target facility.
That's what I like to hear. Be a real shame to have come all this way for nothing. I was about to blow up just now.
You get in our way, you die. If you don't want to die, go home.
I can't think of his name,
Personally, I'd love it if you got in our way. Give me a reason to blow you out of the sky.
but I recognize that voice actor. So, fighting other mechs.
Yo, what do we do? Attack them back?
4, explain this.
My apologies. I'm not authorized to disclose that information.
Then what good are you? Cover me, kiddos. I gotta be a sitting duck for like 10 seconds.
Huh?
Over-counter. First barrier cleared. Infiltrating worm code. Data key decrypted. Bypassing the source barrier. An intercept barrier. Reversing arsenal key to default settings. Copying orbital master code. Initiating modify reign.
Okay, this is fascinating, but, like...
Bingo. The order to destroy this facility came from Horizon. It's the complete opposite of the order we accepted. Just what the hell is in this library?
Death.
What? They'd rather slash it than let us have it?
It's all the hentai manga.
Not happening.
Guess the cat's out of the bag. Let's get to work, Civ. Over and out.
And yeah, that's Artanis.
Yes, sir. Time to set off some fireworks. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go!
Yep.
Fan-friggin-tastic. Still, this is a good opportunity to make both Sky Union and Horizon owe us big time.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! You want to throw down with those two? For real?
Moment of truth time, kiddos. We've all got reasons for being here. Want to live by your terms?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Tool? Stand your ground and fight.
Son of a... No way am I letting these two fight us. Rookie, don't go dying on me now.
Jesus. Okay, these hurt. Of course, they're full-on attacking me and no one else. You notice that? This is when I officially wish I had a mouse right here.
Payback time.
How am I supposed to fight like this?
I think I got her. Kind of hard to tell, if I'm being honest. He is full on hunting me and no one else. He missed wonderful, I mean, amazing dialogue. Oh, nope, I didn't actually kill Sif. Damn it.
This could be real bad.
God, I'm actually out of ammo on my left gun. Holy crap. I've been out of missiles for a while. Ow!
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay, that's just mean. Hang on a second. Okay. There we go. Figured out how to change weapons. The D-pad. Huh? Okay.
That's right. You better run.
Enemy forces are retreating from the area of operations. Order complete. The Order's objectives have been achieved.
Okay, that actually is kind of cool.
Kiddos, now chase them down and finish them off. Teach them what happens to those who cross me.
Hold up. I'm all out of ammo. I got some paint bombs I could toss their way, though.
I'm all out of mechs.
Lucky break for them, I guess.
Well done. Humanity's most precious treasures remain secure.
The hentai.
I can't stand that clown.
Ignore him or get used to him. Those are your options. Make sure you report what happened here to your boss.
Yeah, for sure.
Demon X Machina's Ice. This is the demo.
I gotta say, though, you hacking into an orbital computer, easily the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that. Okay, so can I, like, take her mech? That'd be awesome. I don't see any interactive stuff. Yeah, the total lack of a enemy health bar really sucked. IMO. Can't do anything with my own mech. That's my other gun while I'm on foot, by the way. And as usual, I can absorb femto. Interesting. Yeah, I had a really hard time seeing which of those mechs was the enemy. That was a constant issue for me there. Expenses. Damages. Only 663. I lost my mech! Yeah, I can already tell you some of the feedback I'm going to be giving. Slightly better minimap would be nice. Enemy health bars would be great. Game over scythe would be awesome. The ability to actually see, you know, which of the enemies is the enemy and which of those is not. Decidian, he's pretty cool. Thank you very, very much, Game Over Scythe. As ever, I do much appreciate those subs. Would you like to put that sub towards anything? Yeah, a lock-on function would be fantastic for a game that, you know, has this. So I guess that explains why I had things like the ability to gain a sword. Well, yeah, no, let's go ahead and grab the sword. I can't believe this demo is still going. Holy crap. And there goes my right arm. I didn't need that. You got it, Game Over Scythe. Hang on, let me jot that down. Right here. So noted. Thank you again. I didn't need those arms or those eyes. Eyes are for the weak. Oh my god, there's another mission. Okay, I'm gonna cut this off. This is taking too long. So there's this game. We actually have more Nintendo Direct stuff to talk about. Yeah, I've been here this whole time, by the way. Let me just... To be continued that. Oh my gosh, yeah, I was taking forever. I figured it'd be short like the Yoshi's Crafted roll-on was. Jeez. So, it's still going! It's still going. I'll finish it off camera and talk about it later. Where am I in my notes? Fire Emblem! Fire Emblem Three Houses. They showed a whole bunch of stuff, mostly lore stuff. So, ironically, I'm not sure if there's anything to talk about there. But they showed off how you're going to be playing a teacher who's in charge of an academy, and you have students from the 3 different houses who represent the political powers on the continent you're on, and you have to take those people out and go do stuff and blah, 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 blah. It looks cool. It looks cool. I'm with it. What's funny, though, is I've heard several people jokingly make the comment of, I wonder what new mechanic they're going to give us to allow us to, you know, have people flirt with each other. It's set in a school. So... not a lot of actual details in the lore stuff, other than lore stuff. So all I'm saying right now is it looks cool, and it comes out July 26th. I know, right? Like them. The next thing I want to talk about is Tetris 99, which I think is out like right now. I could probably grab this right now. I'm actually kind of curious too. Tetris 99 is Tetris Battle Royale. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lore, you don't like Battle Royale. No, I don't. But I just have to say, there's just something so wonderfully Nintendo about looking at the Battle Royale thing and saying, yeah, we could do that. And doing it with Tetris. Everyone else is doing, like, shoot-'em-up, third-person or first-person Battle Royales. Like, there's, like, 7 out right now, including 2 that are in development. And Nintendo's like, yeah, let's make a Tetris one. You remember Splatoon? Because it was the same thing. How do you make a first-person shooter that's non-violent and has a different take on it? I've got it! Make them squid kids who shoot ink! Anyways. So, I don't have much to say about Tetris 99, except for the fact that it's free if you happen to have Switch Online, and you can play it right now. It was one of those things that came out when the announcement came out. That's why I'm downloading it right now. In fact, I have just successfully downloaded it. So, you know, that's cool. Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is another game they're talking about. Now, okay, I do have a brief thing to say about this. I like the concept. I really do. Like the concept of a asymmetrical multiplayer game. But the problem is, actually, believe it or not, this is Mario and Luigi music. The problem is, historically speaking, most asymmetrical games suck. Usually an aspect of the specific design of the game. But I still like the asymmetrical concept. So, there's this new game coming out, I don't know if it's exclusive to the Switch, called Dead by Daylight, where you play as the survivors in a horror story where, like, some Jason Voorhees type character is chasing around. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. And one player can play the killer and go around trying to kill them. It sounds like a neat concept. I have no idea if I'll ever play it or not, but it looked interesting enough. And again, as I said, it'd be nice to finally have an asymmetrical game that's actually good. That comes out in fall. Deltarune is coming out on Switch. Of course it is. Toby has had a lot of good experiences with the Switch and with Nintendo in general. So that's not really what I would call a surprise. Deltarune Chapter 1 is going to be free on the Switch, just like it is on the PC. So that's cool. It's not out yet, though. It's coming out at the end of the month, Chapter 1. The trailer was hysterical. It actually made me laugh. Woo. Apparently Dead by Daylight is a port. I did not know that. So apparently Dead by Daylight is a port. I didn't know. There's a game called Grid Autosports, which is coming out in summer on the Switch. And my first thought was, what the heck is this? Because I've heard of Forza, and I've heard of, obviously Gran Turismo. What the heck is Grid? Anyways, that's coming out on the Switch. I might be interested. I actually am very much a fan of realistic racing sims. I mean, I've played the hell out of Gran Turismo over the years. So we'll see if that's actually any interesting or not. That's coming out in summer. Hellblade Senua is coming out on the Switch. Still on the forbidden list, but woo. Mortal Kombat 11 is coming out on the Switch April 23rd, actually. I don't know if I like it. As I was talking to my friend about this, I'm not a big Mortal Kombat fan in general. The last Mortal Kombat game I really got into was 3. Although I have played many of the Mortal Kombat games since then, I just don't remember the actual names of them because they all kind of blur for me. There was like an adventure one, and there was one where you have to fight like an apocalypse thing. And then there was the one where they reset the history and just kind of retconned everything. But anyways, point being, Mortal Kombat 11, woo, April 23rd. Unravel 2 is coming out the Switch, which sounds really, really awesome. For those of you who don't remember, I was actually... See you around, Justin. I was really excited about Unravel 2 when they showed it at the Sony? No, it was the Ubisoft conference, I think. I don't know, it was one of the conferences during E3, and I was just like, yes, that's awesome. Well, now it's coming out on the Switch, and that's awesome. I'm going to be buying the hell out of that. It's going to have co-op. Don't know if it's online. I wasn't able to confirm or deny that. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered is also coming out on the Switch. Woo, I guess. May 21st. Again, that's not surprising. Ubisoft and Nintendo have been doing a lot of stuff over the last few years, so that's going to just continue being a thing. Final Fantasy VII is coming out on the Switch March 26th. And I'm very curious which version it's going to be, because there's technically multiple ports of FF7 at this point, and most of the differences between them are minor, so we'll see at this point. Speaking of which, Final Fantasy IX came out on the Switch when the announcement happened. As ever, I love it when that happens. I know not everyone does. I get your point, Max Time. I really do. It's just, my first thought was FF9 coming out now. Yeah! So it was basically how I reacted to that. So I went and bought FF9. I've already played it up to Lindblom, actually. I can go and confirm really quick, since I played it up to Lindblom. It is basically the Steam version, but a little better, but a little worse. So to explain a little bit what I mean by that. In order to activate the cheats, which still function the same way they always do, you have to actually effectively pause the game and then toggle or toggle the cheats on or off, and then unpause the game and go back into playing. Which, instead of just hitting a function key. However, they have fixed the in-game, the in-combat menus and polished them so that they don't look as awful as they did back on the phone version. So that's a nicety. They also fixed the graphics bugs. That is actually one of the reasons why I insisted on playing up to Lindblom specifically, because I knew of at least 2 graphics bugs that are in the Steam version of FF9 in Lindblom. They are not there. Those have been fixed properly, so that's awesome. There is one downside, though. The game actually straight up crashed on me as in hard locked. I had to, close the game entirely and start it up again in order to keep playing. I've never, in all my years of playing FF9, had FF9 hard lock, except when it literally broke my PS1. That was, obviously, I've told that story many times. However, and this, take of this what you will, I don't know when they added autosave to FF9, but the autosave not only was there, but it was so accurate, it was actually autosaving at the scene I crashed at. So in other words, it wasn't like I autosaved the last time I changed zone lines. It autosaved when I opened the dialogue to start talking about it. Because when I started playing the game again, when I hit continue, it was just boom, and then dialogue, just immediately. It was weird. So, I don't know. Either way, I don't mind having plonked the money down on it. One person said, oh, you're just a shill. To which I said, yeah, I just bought one of my favorite games of all time in a system I'm going to be able to play it comfortably and easily for the next 20 years. Sold. As I've said before, the Switch is a big deal for me, and not just because it's Nintendo or anything else, because this is something that is easy and comfortable for you to play, and that's going to be more and more of an issue over the next several years as my body gets slowly worse. So, with it... Yeah, I don't know, Myron. Like I said, I don't know about that. I never actually used the autosave in the Steam or the PS4 version. Have I never... Okay, so... I talked about the hardlock story several times. Basically, when you enter... In the skirmish of the Silver Dragons, and you go in and you fight the Nova Dragon, right? When the Nova Dragon dies, it's like, and it like shards off. So that scene like kind of started really, really chopping, and then it basically froze, and I'm sitting there like, what the hell? And smoke was coming out of my PS1. And it literally broke my PS1. As in, straight up broke it. It was actually destroyed by this action. I had to get another one. That's the summary of the story. Anyways. What else? 2 more things. I swear, just 2 more, and then we're finally done. First, there's a brand new game from a brand new IP called Astral Chain, which is coming up August 30th by Platinum Games. Now, Platinum Games is awesome. That being said, am I the only person who thought that Astral Chain looks really generic? Now, granted, it's probably just because the trailer itself was a very generic trailer. But the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, okay. Near as we can tell, though, from what little details we have, it is going to be based around a form of co-op play, which I'm down with. It is going to be by Platinum Games, which I'm down with. The end. So I don't actually have anything else to say about that. I'll be kind of following it, though, because, I mean, it's a Platinum game, right? Can we name a bad game they've made? But yeah, exactly. The trailer was just like, okay. Woo. It was basically a teaser announcement thing, not really a proper trailer. Speaking of teaser announcements, let's finally talk about Zelda, which is the last thing they showed. Now I'm staying quiet because I know several of you wanted to talk, so I'm just going to stay quiet and let you talk. That's true, the Ninja Turtles game was bad. I actually forgot about that. I really did forget about that. First of all, let me say very clearly, Doctor Who, my opinion, that a proper remake is absolutely worth $60, without hesitation. Because the very definition of a proper remake is that it is, by definition, good, and that a lot of real effort has been put into remaking the game, rather than just porting it. Oh god, Velaquenta, that's interesting. So... Revengeance is kind of average for me, except for the combat, which I enjoyed, and Senator Armstrong, which is fantastic. Now, the question, the real question, is the new Link's Awakening thing going to be a proper remake? In fact, it could be argued, is it going to be a remake at all? The little bit they showed looks like a port, a good port, a remaster maybe, but basically just a straight up, this is now Link's Awakening, except it is in 3D. And I'm not sure what I think about that. Obviously, we know very, very few details. They showed a couple of specific screens. I recognized every single one of them because I've played the hell out of that game. And, obviously they did the tease of the music, and they did the tease of the thing, and they're working on it, blah, blah, blah. I do not call a graphics update a remake, personally, because you haven't changed the game. You've changed how it looks, nothing more. So, that's just my opinion. Regardless, even if you qualify a graphics upgrade as a remake, it is definitively not a proper remake at that point. For me, I would call a graphics update a remaster. There's nothing wrong with a good remaster, consequently, and simply having Link's Awakening on the Switch will be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. But whether or not it's a proper remake or not is something that I imagine we'll be looking at, since I have already had people donate towards me doing a premiere run of it. Not Baronessa, though. She doesn't want me to do a premiere run of it. So, we'll see. I don't know, Max Time. Legitimately. I really don't know. There's just too little detail. There's too little information. I will say, to be completely 100% blunt, I am already sold on it for absolutely no other reason than having a copy of Link's Awakening on my Switch. We already talked about this. Having a copy of a game I love that I can play for the next 20 years comfortably and without pain, sold. There's a reason I want the SNES library and the NES library on the Switch as well. It's because I want access to those games on this, you know. So, regardless, I'm down. It's just, I have no idea what level of quality we're going to get. I have already had a question asking me if we're going to be playing the original Link's Awakening or the remastered Link's Awakening, or whatever it's going to be, whenever we get to the Zelda pseudo-lore run. And the answer is, of course, I have no idea. In fact, I have no way of even telling or knowing at this point. However, this news has kind of put a damper, not a damper, that's the wrong word. It's put a giant wrench into the Zelda pseudo-lore run plans. So I'm just going to kind of shelf the Zelda pseudo-lore run for a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean I don't know how long. I want to see where they're going with this, and a few other things before I actually commit to anything on that, so we'll see. That's all I had to say about the Zelda Awakening thing. I wonder if I could pre-order it right now, because if I can, I'm going to. Also, as a reminder, we do have a voot. There's a reason that thing's up. Make sure you voot. Please voot. Looks like it is currently not up for pre-order. Ah, well. That means we probably don't even have the beginnings of a release date for that. Like, my own notes don't even mention a year, so who knows when that's going to come out. The voot is about the Neverwinter Nights lore run. Now, normally, at this point in time... hang on. Here is a reminder link. Normally, at about this point in time, I would go ahead and answer Tumblr questions. In fact, I already have several selected. One about Star Wars, one about Legend of Zelda, and one about board games. However, since that demo took forever and we spent so much time talking about Nintendo Direct, I'm actually going to not do that. So I'm just going to chomp off the local recording here,